What's it like to be out watching the guys again on the ice? I know you guys are on and off a little bit at some points, but what's this like to be talking about the 2025-26 Lincoln Stars?
It's really exciting. Obviously, this is where it starts for us. We've had a lot of success over the years with our camp leading into our season. As always, it's incredibly competitive, high-paced environment for these players. So for us to be able to get these young players in early and really create, like I said, that competitive environment from the very beginning, that really filters into our main camp really well. And so ultimately, being able to select a squad out of that becomes a little bit easier for us, given that the players here are so willing to compete and commit to that process. So for us as a staff and as an organization, it's really exciting. Obviously, we have high aspirations for the season with the momentum we had last year, and so for us, this is where it all starts, and we're excited to get things going.
As a coaching staff, what's some of the stuff you're looking for in a development camp right before that main camp?
Yeah, I think more than anything, we have certain identity pieces that are staples to our team. Part of that is puck management, part of that is compete level, part of that is culture. There's a lot of things that play into that. So for us, it's putting together that equation and making sure we have all those right pieces. And so we look for players to kind of play to their strengths. We don't want players who think they have to do things differently just because this is a tryout type environment, right? We want guys who know what type of player they are and they play to that identity. And then for us, it's easier to kind of slot them into what we're looking for our squad. So more than anything, like I said, high compete, but also making sure those players kind of play to themselves a little bit.
We've seen some guys really take that step from development camp to main camp and then even to with the Stars. William Prowse, last year's the big one. A lot of people think about what stood out about him looking back a year later.
I think the biggest thing that Will did for himself and kind of making our squad was just consistency. He was at the beginning of the development camp through to Maine, which is a long 5 days for players. And so for a goalie to be consistent at the beginning of camp, consistent in the middle, consistent in the end, I think that just speaks to his skill set. And so for us, if you have a great day one, but you can't follow up with a day two, that raises some questions. So when you look at the story of Will Prowse, you saw a lot of success on the ice and execution, but you also saw a lot of consistency, and I think that really served him well.
For you, this is going to be your 5th season with the Stars. What have you learned each year that maybe you take into the next year when these camp weeks?
Yeah, every season's different. Obviously, it ebbs and flows, so to speak, but just really knowing what we like to do here. Coach Russo and GM Nick Fabrizio, they do a great job in instilling kind of our culture and the direction we're headed. And so just year after year, you gain experience as a scouting coach or as an assistant coach and kind of how can I contribute in finding those next pieces or those next role type players. So I think it just becomes more clear cut into what we're looking for and just contributing to that process.